The passions which had hitherto lain concealed in Julia's heart, touched by circumstance, dilated to its power, and afforded her a slight experience of pain and delight which flow from their influence. The beauty and accomplishments of Vereza raised in her a new and various emotion, which reflection made her fear to encourage, but which was too pleasing to be wholly resisted. Tremblingly alive to a sense of delight and unchilled by disappointment, the young heart welcomes every feeling, not simply painful, with a romantic expectation that it will expand into bliss. Julia sought with eager anxiety to discover the sentiments of Areza toward her. She revolved each circumstance of the day, but they afforded her little satisfaction. They reflected only a glimmering and uncertain light, which instead of guiding, served only to perplex her. Now she remembered some instance of particular attention, and then some mark of apparent indifference. She compared his conduct with that of the other young noblesse, and thought each appeared equally desirous of the favour of every lady present. All the ladies, however, appeared to her to court the admiration of Areza, and she trembled lest he be too sensible of distinction. She drew from these reflections no positive inference, and though distrust rendered pain the predominant sensation, it was so exquisitely interwoven with delight that she could not wish it exchanged for her former ease. Thoughtful and restless, sleep fled from her eyes, and she longed with impatience for the morning, which should again present Vereza and enable her to pursue the inquiry. She rose early and adorned herself with the usual care. In her favorite closet she awaited the hour of breakfast and endeavored to read, but her thoughts wandered from the subject. Her lute and favorite airs lost half their power to please. The day seemed to stand still. She became melancholy, and thought the breakfast hour would never arrive. At length the clock struck the signal. The sound vibrated on every nerve, and trembling she quitted the closet for her sister's apartment. Love taught her disguise. Till then Amelia had shared all her thoughts. They now descended to the breakfast room in silence, and Julia almost feared to meet her eye. In the breakfast room they were alone. Julia found it impossible to support a conversation with Amelia, whose observations interrupting the course of her thoughts became uninteresting and tiresome. She was therefore about to retire to her closet when the Marquis entered. His air was haughty and his look severe. He coldly saluted his daughters, and they had scarcely time to reply to his general inquiries when the He coldly saluted his daughters, and they scarcely had time to reply to his general inquiries when the Marchioness entered, and the company soon after assembled. Julia, who had awaited with so painful an impatience for the moment which should present Vereza to her sight, now sighed that it was arrived. She scarcely dared to lift her timid eyes from the ground, and when by accident they met his, a soft tremor seized her, and apprehension lest he should discover her sentiments served only to render her confusion conspicuous. At length, a glance from the Marchioness recalled her bewildered thoughts, and other fears superseding those of love, her mind by degrees recovered its dignity. She could distinguish in the behavior of Vereza no symptoms of particular admiration, and she resolved to conduct herself toward him with the most scrupulous care.